Okay, so with this video, I just wanted to show you some of the up close workings of this flower area. So you can see that I have been putting a lot of effort into creating the flower, separating every petal, and then cutting in behind and exemplifying each one of these petals. But in addition to that, I have also been rounding these petals and cutting out the center of them to get them that round look. So the round look is created and it's then rounded over to look like the petals are going behind in a rounded way, and then it meets up with the back. But I also wanted to show you the back side of it, so you can see that these areas here also have to be rounded to match the curved shape of the top. So each of these areas have to be cut out and cleaned and then follow the petal itself. So you can see in other areas that I have the stalk here, it's not clean, but it's in place. And these are thicker than they need to be, so I'll have to bring those down as well. You can see that each and every time I create the petal on the front area, then the petal individuality is actually removed. So then this has to be recut again to separate the petals. And then once you've cut that, then the two petals have to be worked on, and then the back has to be cleaned all over again. But you want to leave it thick like this, because if you don't, and it's all the way up to the edge like here, then when you have to recreate another petal, then this area is gone for you to work with, and it gets shortened like this one. You see this? So it's important to not do too much removal from the get-go. You want to slowly move into it so that you can keep what you need and remove what you don't need. All right. So additionally, you can look at the leaf. The leaf has now been separated back here, but this one hasn't been. Not sure if you can see it, but in here it's been removed, but not on this one. Now these are all pretty fragile, so I'm not going to remove any of that until the very end, when the feathers are in and the petals are completely finished and I'm not touching them anymore and everything else. So you can see that these petals here, these leaves here haven't been fully completed, but some of them have been cut underneath. So you want to leave as much thick material as possible. Without doing that, they become super fragile, and if you're working on the piece as a whole, you're bound to lean on something and break it. So that's my biggest enemy in many cases, is completing one area and then going to another area, leaning on that area, and then snapping that area. So it's a concern for everyone to consider. So slowly I'm working with it, trying to bring little pieces off here and there, forming, keeping the forms I've got, and also sanding clean some of the dirt and everything off. So you can see here that I'm creating the rounded section here under on the petal and folding over while still removing some pieces here, you can tell by the line, and bringing it into the fullness of its flower. Here's another section here. You can see it here. Can you see that? Yeah. So in here, this petal here needs to go underneath this flower. So I'll need to be cutting in here at some point to round this flower out and still get this petal in. So it's all a bunch of work, and it's a time-consuming effort, but sometimes I find this to be the funnest part. Here's a good point to show as well. Let's see if you can see this. Yeah. So I'll be setting this flower up to have this section cut away. You see? So it's all just a bunch of work. So I just wanted to show you some of the intricacies of creating the flowers.